to the Journey of an Awakening Spirit with your host, Kathleen Flanagan. The Journey of an Awakening Spirit is about teaching you a variety of tools that you can use to step into your true self. It is about self-discovery, realizing you are not alone on your journey. We will open the phone lines, give readings, and talk about what our listeners want to know. So please welcome the host of the Journey of an Awakening Spirit, Kathleen Flanagan.
Hi everyone, this is Kathleen Flanagan with the Journey of an Awakening Spirit, and we are streaming on the Bold Brave TV network. And today I have Zak Lyotis, who's going to be joining us. But first we are going to set the tone. Zak Lyotis is a multi-dimensional being that has experienced life differently. Since the age of 3, she has had many encounters with spirit, and not all pleasant ones. You may hear her say, some people watch horror movies, others live them. Zak lived them. In 1997, Zak went through thyroid cancer and her first massive spiritual awakening. From going through many ups and downs in life and experiencing depression more times than she wanted to admit, Zak has always found herself going back to her truth is where the most happiness was found. As a galactic elder, master key holder, 12-strain activator, soul activator, and Jesus-loving human, Zak has the pleasure of bringing many through a journey of inner self-discovery, conquering both past and present lives to heal the present and the future self. Today, Zak finds pleasure in guiding women through the process of spiritual awakening, serving the truth, and finding humor throughout the way. Spiritual awakening shouldn't be painful. It's about becoming mindful and cultivating the light from the darkness of the light into something more pleasant for the soul. Zak runs Bold, Fierce, Unstoppable Women's Inner Circle, as well as hosts Messages from the Other Side live events. Welcome, Zak.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
Good. Every time you read that, I'm always like, who's that girl? Na, 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 na. And then you talk about cancer. And it's like literally 26 years cancer free come October. And I almost had tears in my eyes. And I just give all glory to God for that because, listen, I got out of the hospital. I was probably the worst eater. I partied. I did a lot of drugs. I had a lot of great sex. I drank a lot. And here we are today, like a whole different human being. 26 years later, yes, we grow, we evolve. But it's like, I always say God gave me cancer to wake me up. And I truly believe that in the soul of my heart that he gave me cancer to wake me up. And I ran away to Europe. And when I ran away to Europe, the doctors were chasing me. And I'm like, listen, Dr. Jesus, I'm not ready to go back home to face that. But here we are today, spreading the love, spreading the word. And I am, yes, very much a Jesus lover.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
So we were talking about the message you received from your couch that I thought was very, very interesting. And I would love for you to elaborate and share on that. So people are wondering, because they're probably thinking we're both a little crazy right now. So if you wouldn't mind elaborating on how that message came about, and because it's very profound.
Yeah, everyone's going to think that one flew off the cuckoo's nest, but it's okay, Kathleen. We've been called that all our lives, so we're used to that. And I think if you don't connect to these spirits, you're literally flying off the cuckoo's nest. So it was last week actually, and I've been looking at my couch for a little while now, and it's so funny because I kept on hearing my couch going to me, "Don't sit here, don't sit here," and I've been Airbnb my place, and I would look at my couch and I hear, "Don't sit here," and I was like, "Why?" And I hear, "You have no idea what's been going on this couch," and I was like, "Oh dear, like I don't even want what's happening on the couch." So I'd always put a blanket down and I'd sit on this blanket. Literally, I wouldn't even sit on the couch with my clothes. And it came time for me to wash the couch. I got my machine, I got everything ready, and I couch, and I heard on the surface is what you see in life. And I was like, okay, here we go. Here's a prophetic moment for you, Zach. There's something that's going on, but here, like, listen attentively to this. And you think it's your couch talking to you. I know it's God talking to me, thinking it's the couch because he makes you think like your window is the cuckoo's nest. So I'm like, okay, so the dirt that I see is like maybe the life that I'm really feeling like why is the struggle there? Why are these paths there? Why is this, I don't want to say darkness because it's not darkness. It's like why is these obstacles there? Why am I not being able, move forward in life. That's what the surface dirt was. And as I'm cleaning my couch, I'm getting deeper into the dirt, at the water, the resin after the fact. It was so nasty. And I was like, ooh, this is disgusting. They said, yeah, you are seeing, excuse me, the surface of your couch, but you don't realize what's going down in the pillow of your couch. I was like, with a little bit of everything could get cleared out. Like, okay. And the more I'm cleaning this couch, the more nastiness is coming off this couch, the more I'm just like, oh, okay, you're back. The more I'm tuning into this couch, I'm I'm just going, okay, what is with the soap and the water? And it was like the soap is literally your meditation. The soap in your meditation, you bring all that stuff up. You bring the guck up. You bring whatever is sitting. And now I'm sideways, so I don't know what's going on here. Welcome to our world. And you're bringing all this stuff up. I don't understand what's happening again, Kathleen. But anyhow, so the soap, you'll bring all this guck up. And I'm just like, okay. So the soap is there, which is your meditation. I can't get over being like, what is going on now? This is hilarious. So
I don't know what to tell you.
Things you're gonna bring your emotions up. I don't know, whatever. You're gonna bring your emotions up, and as you're meditating, those emotions are gonna come up. That's soap. That's your breath. That's you with yourself. That's the spirit cleansing the soul from whatever's gone on in your life, your traumas, your fears, your doubts, your all that. I'm telling you, trying to give people that, not giving love back to you. You just this place of, um, not allowing yourself to be fully accepted. So there is just so much that was just the soap was talking to me like, we need meditation in our life. We need to really tap into our truth and through meditation. And the water is prayer, because when you start cleansing all this gunk with surface, you have this prayer service within yourself. You're praying to the creator, praying to God, you're praying to Jesus, you're praying to Buddha, to Krishna, you're praying to whoever you're praying to. I pray to God. The way to the truth and to light is through Jesus. I'm going to pray to Jesus at the end of the day. And so when we pray, what happens when we create all this space with the soap, now the water is like a river running through you. And as you're allowing for this water to run through you, what are you doing? You're making yourself become more in tune with yourself. You're allowing for your truth to come out. You allow for the beauty of who you are within you to come out. And I looked at my couch and it's soaking wet. And I'm like, wow, you look so beautiful. And it's like, yeah, because once you clean the gunk from the outside in, beauty starts to rise up. But then, I went to bed and I was literally admiring my couch until I got to bed, and I woke up and I looked at my couch and I'm like, wow, look how shiny you are now. Like, you're so clean, you're so shiny, you're so robust. And then my coach says to me, yeah, one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to forget to marinate in these new energies and these new vibrational frequencies. So it's interesting how the couch is saying you need that soap and water to clean the dirt, to create your prayer, but you have to give yourself time to process through everything. And the beauty will come out, the shine will come out. You have to be patient. And when you have this patience, things will start moving. So now I lavish this on my couch with nothing on there, no pets, no nothing. And I'm having this moment with my couch constantly. So there's times where
Well, Zach, you have frozen, so I think we'll go ahead and go for a commercial break and see if we can get this worked out.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant, like I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Journey of an Awakening Spirit. This is Kathleen Flanagan, your host, and we are streaming on the Bold Brave TV network, and I have Zak with us. We seem to be having a little bit of a camera issue, so she's going to be calling in on the line, and we will continue our conversation about her couch from there. Are you with us, Zak?
I am.
Okay.
It seems to get us every week here. What's going on?
I don't know. I know that we're on the backside of Mercury retrograde, and it seems like a lot of weird things go on. I know that sometimes I'm having issues too, but you deal with it. Makes life interesting on a live show, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does. And I wish it didn't kind of freeze on the way my face looked like that. Dear Jesus.
You can watch the replay and find out, talking to you sideways, and that was rather comical looking at you sideways. Obviously, we're supposed to laugh and just take all of this in a stride at this point,
The only thing to do, really at the end, it's the only thing to do. You can't get mad. You can't, feel embarrassed. There's nothing embarrassing about it. When life throws you lemons, make lemonade. You can't make orange juice with them. So it is what it is.
It is. Believe me, I know. I mean, it's to me, at this moment in time, I don't let anything get to me anymore as much as I can. It's what it is. It's life. It's not doing it to me. It's just what life does. And when we're dealing with technology, what do?
Exactly.
I mean, technology has its own little mind. I think some days that they feed the gremlins and they go out there and they start doing havoc on equipment.
Yep. It feels like there's nothing new these days. Really, at the end of the day, and this is beyond the couch conversation, but this is part of a couch conversation. At the end of the day, you got to get off your ass and keep on going. You can't let anything pull you down. And that's something that when we feel down, when we feel that we are defeated, when we feel like there's no more steam in us, we land on the couch. And then I've had this before. I've had the couch say to me, get your ass off of here and go do what you love to do. And this isn't my first time having couch conversations. I've had many conversations with my couch before. And the thing is that, like I was saying earlier, while we were being put sideways, upside down, and inside out, when you actually tune into all the energies, you start to realize that everything is watching out for you, for your greater good, for your higher consciousness, for, the best that you can be. Yet we are so afraid to tap into that energy. And this is something that we have to start teaching people how to do this. And this is not woo-hoo. People say, oh, you're so woo-hoo. And I'm like, no, it's woo-hoo. You're not even tapping into this energy. There's nothing woo-hoo about this. This is life. If you think life is sitting on your couch and watching TV and being so manipulated in your mind while you're eating all this junk crap and making yourself fat in your mind and feeling sick in your body, then you continue being that woo-hoo you are, but I'll continue flying the friendly skies with my homeboy Jesus. And I'll get there a little faster than you. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your how much money you have, your financials. Nothing matters anymore. It's really about connectivity and connecting with your higher consciousness. And once you get to that point of connecting to your higher consciousness, allow someone to try to piss you off. It won't happen because you're so comfortable with yourself. You're so in tune with yourself. And what someone says and thinks about you has nothing to do with you. You're just like, okay, yeah, whatever, move on. Right? Just whatever, move on. And that's something that this is the time to get off your ass, off the couch, and to something more empowering within yourself. And the more that you trust this process, the more that you grow through this process, listen, spiritual growth isn't easy. It's worth it. That's why I like to add humor into things. I have people crying on me, Zak, this. And I'm like, listen, I've been there. Cry all you want, scream all you want, yell all you want, do what you want, but laugh through it at the same time. Dance with it. Move with it. allow it to come up, because the more energy that you give it in a negative connotation, the more negative that's going to come to you. And you'll often hear me say there's no such thing as negative. It's all same. Negative, and I'm putting that in quotes, is really you to take a time out to take that step back to reflect what's going on with your life. Because if you're constantly in that same hamster cycle of the same life and you're wondering, are things going to change for me? Yeah, change your mind, change your energy, change the way you think about yourself, change maybe your environment, but yet we could all be in the same environment, but different outcomes for everyone. It's how you see yourself. It's how you see your self-worth. It's how you give yourself that self-esteem, that confidence and empowerment to move forward in life. And a lot of people are so afraid of doing that because everyone's so emotionally weak these days, spiritually weak these days. And everyone has these titles now. You're trans this and trans that and trans this and trans. So you know what? You're sleeping. You're a sleeping human being that needs to be woken up. And you're so programmed with all this bullshit that they're putting in your body. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't know if I could say that, but it is what it is. Came out of my mouth. However, start waking up and start being your own voice of reason. You don't have to listen to everyone else around you. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, because yourself knows best. And this is what I love teaching people. Listen to yourself. You don't have to even listen to me. I'm just going to encourage you. I'm going to move you. I'm going to love you, and I'm going to have a shoulder for you to cry on, an ear for you to yell at. I'll be here, and I'll see you, and I'll tell you where your spirit's guiding you through the whole process. And I'm going to lift you up when you're down. I'm going to lift you up when you feel like you have no gas. I'm going to give you my gas. I'm going to lend you my eyes so you can see how powerful you are, how beautiful you are, and how you're wasting your time in BS in this world. That just came out of me.
I get what you're saying, because I was actually talking to these two women that I'm bringing on to help market Awakening Spirit, and I was saying just how I feel that since COVID, sales have been way down, and I was talking to them. And she said, we just need to reawaken your spirit. And I said, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And these women are very positive, very dynamic, and we're going to hold each other accountable. So we're not going to get into any kind of negative thinking or whatever. Not that either one of us do that, but the whole point is that we were talking about was that my frustration level of not knowing what to do. And I've decided that I know what to do. I don't know what it is right now, but I know what to do, because I always find that reason to find whatever it is I need to do. I will find it. And I've learned in the last month to ask better questions. I've had so many things shift and change in my life in the last week to 2 weeks that it is mind-blowing to me. And when I was talking to these two women this morning, I sat there and thought, I don't know if I can handle all this. This is like so much energy coming my way. And then it was like, but you can. You know how to. You just have to rearrange how you do things a little bit. Dial in, get very clear, and get very focused. And I have gotten so much done today because we're going to create a whole new strategy for me, for Awakening Spirit. And that's exactly what I need. It's like, because I told him, I said, it feels like I've got this huge elephant sitting on me and I can't move. And I just need a little bit of help. I need a team of people. And just by saying that, I just felt like this energy shifted. And then this friend of mine who I was talking to, who is supposed to come on the show in 2 weeks, and he's going to meditate on it. He wants to talk about Mary Magdalene because of all these changes that are coming in. And this is our time to come out of the woodwork and to start growing and wake up already. Quit doing half-assed work. Quit having a bad attitude. Quit thinking the world owes you when the world owes you nothing. It's time to take responsibility. And if you want to be happy, that all comes from you and your center. And if you're grumpy and pissy and miserable, the only person who is at fault there is you. And I get it. I've been through all this. I've been through pissy and grumpy and bitchy, and the world is against me and victimhood and the whole bit. And when I changed my attitude and changed the way I wanted to look at myself and my life And when I saw people that were super happy because they were working on themselves, I decided that's what I wanted. And that's what I'm exactly doing. And my whole life changed probably 2 years ago when I bought this house. I was in this massive growth phase, and I'm still there. And I realized it took me a year to get used to this energy in this house. A year, because I had evolved and escalated my energy levels that far. And if you're going to do that, then you do have to integrate. Now, I didn't understand that yet. It took me a year to realize it. But now that I'm there, I feel like I can do even more. Like I don't feel like I'm wandering in the desert lost anymore. I'm just moving. I'm moving my life. I know what I want. And by golly, I'm going to get there. One way or another, I will get there. And I'm asking for help. And, for the first time, I decided Lone Ranger, I kick Lone Ranger out the door. I'm tired of being the Lone Ranger. I'm tired.
Yeah. And a lot of these angels are coming to us. Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the Sacred Mother Mary, Saint Sophia. I mean, all of them are coming because it's the rise of the feminine energy. And there's a lot of masculine energy that can't handle that right now. We won't get into that because I feel so sad for the masculine energy right now. We're losing our men to something just so incredible. And again, I won't move into that because right now it's really about this feminine energy that's coming up, and it's really about nurturing and loving and caring for yourself and caring for your partner and being submissive to your partner. And it's not like when you're submissive to your partner, it's not like you're giving yourself away. It's really about him being submissive to you as well, and you guys working together through this and working through the tough times. And that's what it's really all about. When you love yourself, you're going to love yourself to the core of your existence, that a lot of things that you thought were good for you, you'll realize why God cut them off on you, because they weren't there to uplift your spirits. They weren't there to bring you that salvation and that peace. We find happiness in peace. We find happiness in joy. We find abundance in that. You can't find happiness or peace in anger and resentment and guilt and shame and betrayal. You're just going to get more of that. The more you tap into that nurturing, caring, loving feminine energy, and you have that divine masculine that's there, that is there to support you and protect you and provide you. And I'm not only just talking about financial providing. A lot of women, there is that, but there's so many ways for, as a team, that you can make money and finances and grow together. As a man, he's there to really ground you. And as a female, you're the intuition, you're that sound. You're that, hey, how about, dropping ideas off one another? And that's why we have to work with one another. It's this new thing of, it just passed my mind. It's just selfish. I'm just going to be selfish. And it's just like, well, why are you selfish for? Like, why are you not sharing what's going on with you? Why are you not awakening that part of you? Why are you not allowing yourself to grow? It's nice to be selfish when you have to, but let's be selfless at times and really connect with what brings this vibrational frequency up with the divine masculine and feminine. Jesus and Mary Magdalene did it very well, and the more that we're able to connect with that, the more we're able to open up our hearts, and the more that we are able to attract in our life, and the more happiness and joy and great sex. And I know a lot of people are so afraid to talk about sex and sensuality, but come on, it's a natural thing to have sex. And it's like, oh my God, women are so afraid to be so expressive when it comes to that. And where else are you afraid to show up in your life? Where else are you afraid to come into this world with your full divinity? And that's the thing that we're talking about right now on so many different levels. When I'm talking about my couch, it's about cleaning that dirt deep down within the core of our existence, not only in this lifetime, but in our childhood and our past life. Our past life isn't past life anymore. It's here in this present time. It's just recycled energy over and over and over. And if it's recycled energy over and over and over, you're going to have the same outcome over and over and over. So you have choices to make. And it's not like, well, I'm not going to do this because I don't know what's going to happen, or I'm afraid to be single, and how about of this and how about of that? Well, stop with all that mind manipulation and tyranny that you're giving yourself. Things are going to turn out wonderful. I can't wait for this change. I can't wait to thrive differently. And things will start changing the way that you want to see change happen. But we're such creatures of habit. That's why, you know, I remember God saying to me, when are you going to come out of depression? I'm like, when I'm ready. He's like, aren't you ready right now? And I'm like, I don't think so. And it was like, you know, when I think back to those days, I'm like, what was wrong with me? Like, I knew how to pull out of depression really quick. And so if I knew how to pull out of depression really quick, what was really holding me back there? Let me tell you what was holding me back there. The comfort of depression. The comfort of depression was holding me there. Just the comfort of guilt, shame, anger, resentment, lack, limitation holds you there. So when you're like, you know what, I'm going to show up in my truth. I'm going to show up in who I am. And I'm not going to care what anyone says about me because I know who I am to the core of my existence. You show up differently. And I see it with women all the time. That's why Bold, Fierce, Unstoppable was birthed. I saw these women come to me all broken, feeling like life was over, their sex life was over, they never had orgasms. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And I'm like, let's bring life back into your body. Let's bring your spirit back to life. And all of a sudden I'm like, wow, girl, look at you. Where did you come from? And then people like, Zach, you did this. I'm like, no. Don't give me the credit. Give yourself the credit. I was your guide. I was the person that spoke life to you. Yes, I will receive the credit. I'm grateful for the credit, but I give all credit to God because I'm the vessel. I'm not going to say I'm just the vessel. I am the vessel. I am the vessel that brings wisdom and knowledge and healing to the person that's in front of me. So we have a lot of changing to do. We have to get out of the old and into the new. We have to awake a new spirit within us. And this is what is so beautiful even about this, the awakening spirit. Are you ready to wake up, or are you going to continue sleeping in comfort in your depression, in your anxiety, in your panic? I know, I was there. So I'm speaking from my own experience, but also being tuned in since the age of 3. I knew how to come out of it. It wasn't my first rodeo, but because the comfort was so in my knowingness, I just said, you know what, I'll just spend a couple more months here. Until one of my friends got a hold of me, and he's like, what is wrong with you, kid? And sometimes we need those friends that are tough love. We can't have these piddly friends that are like, it's okay, it's going to get better, don't worry. No, wake up, snap out of it. What's wrong with you? My friend cussed me out one day. And he literally cussed me out to the point where we were driving back home for an hour and a half, and I was crying, and he was just holding space. He didn't say one word to me until we got home. He looked at me and he said, you good, kid? An hour and a half, he didn't say anything until we got home. Are you good, kid? I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. It took me 3 days to process everything that we went through. And then boom, I was a brand new person. I had to get spoken to the way he spoke to me because my spirit understood that tough love. And that's why being an Aries, I'm going to give you tough love, but I'm going to let you cry on my shoulders. I'm going to let you cuss me out. I'm going to let you do all these things to get rid of those spirits that are digging deep inside of you because I'm going to love you. And I know you're not doing it to me. You're not angry at me, but what's coming out of you hates me. And I'm okay with that. That's what I call, your inner demons.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Kathleen Flanagan, your host with the Journey of an Awakening Spirit, and we are speaking with Zak Lyotis. And one thing that I kept getting when you were talking, Zak, was I had a post. I was a guest on a podcast this week, and it was way longer than I expected it to be. But the one thing that we talked about was expansion, because when we start this contraction and we're looking in and we're going deep inside, looking for answers, solutions, whatever that is, it's the beginning of an expansion that's going to be happening. And so I was telling her that I want my business to make $1 million. And I said, but that's a nice figure to say, but there's a responsibility to having that kind of money, because money is an energy. And a lot of people can't handle that, because if you look at how people handle their money if they win the lottery, they're bankrupt like within a year or two, because they didn't work on themselves to be able to handle that kind of energy. And so anything that we want in our life, we have to make that adjustment to our energy. It's not going to just happen. We have to do the work. And I get what you're saying, because I know what it's like when that couch is a little bit more comfortable than facing, and what's this going to take, and how uncomfortable it is as you're trying to get this light out of this little tiny body. Do it anyways. Just do it anyways. I don't care. The fear is not as great as you think. That fear is nothing more than an illusion in your mind. And as long as you want that fear to hold you and use that as an excuse, you're never going to have anything you want in your life, because it's totally up to you. God, Jesus, whoever gave us all the tools to be just like him, to be creative, to create our own worlds the way that we want. And I get right behind everything that you're saying, Zak. So please continue on.
Well, fear is the unknown at the end of it. When you want to cross that bridge, you don't know what's across that bridge. And underneath that bridge is a lot of water. It's a lot of cleansing, right? What do they say? It's all that dirt. You have to put that soap and water to get that dirt out. So fear is what you're crossing over onto the other side. But what we put on the other side is fear. How about you put faith on the other side? How about you put belief on the other side? How about you put courage on the other side? How about you put bravery on the other side? It's what we've been programmed all our life, right? Oh, if you don't take this pill, you'll be sick. Says who? Says who? Oh, if you don't eat this, you're going to have this. Oh, if you don't drink this, this is going to happen to you. Says who? Who says these things? People need to start thinking for themselves.
Let me interject real quick. I'm sorry. I just have to, when you said that, this funniest thing came up. I remember years ago, my sister was telling me that the doctors are saying you can get cancer from sex now. And I'm like, wow, they're really digging deep now. I mean, oh yeah, who would say such a stupid thing? You can get cancer by having sex? Okay, that's like about as ignorant as it can be. And people don't stop and think about it, because they think if you're a doctor or you're somebody that has a degree, you know something. I think some of them are not the most intelligent people on the planet, because they're book smart. They don't know themselves. They don't know people. They don't know physiology like they think they do. They don't understand the body-mind connection. So that's all
Well,
I
they're
had to
into
say.
medicine.
Because I just thought when you said that, it just struck me as, oh my God, I remember when my sister told me that. I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, doctors learn medicine. They don't learn nutrition. You know, I remember I went to the doctor and I said to him I had cancer, and he goes, "Why would you think you have cancer?" I'm like, "Because my body told me." And he's like, "Well, whatever." I'm like, "Would you just run some tests? Like, that's what you're here for, is to run some tests." And then when he saw me, he's like, "You have cancer." I'm like, "Really, Einstein? Are you telling me something I don't know?" It's like, "But how did you know?" I'm like, "Because my body told me." When you tune into your body tells you things. When I tuned into my couch told me things. When you tune into life tells you things. The problem is that people are not tuning in. Now everyone looks like a walking zombie looking down at their phone. You're going to be like Hunchback of Notre Dame coming in the next 10, 15 years with everyone looking down. No one's going to be able to look up anymore. It's like, dear Jesus, put those damn phones away. Stop being so programmed. Turn your TVs off. Get rid of your microwaves. Stop eating junk crap from these fast food places and tune in with nature. If you want life, go to nature. Connect with nature. Eat natural food. Grow your food. I wish I had a plot that I could grow my food. This is the way we were brought up. My parents never really went to the grocery store. We raised all our stuff. We grew our food. My dad would go to the farm to get his animals. This is what they did back in the villages. We ate with the seasons. And we always gave glory to the guy upstairs for feeding our bellies. Now people are wolfing down their food without even bringing gratitude to their food, to the farmer, to the chicken, to the cow, or if you're having cow, to the pig, whatever it is. You're not even saying thank you for putting food on my plate and sacrificing your life. Everyone's so lost. They have to keep on looking on what's on TikTok, what's on Instagram, what's here, who's doing this. I got FOMO. It's like, yo, you need to breathe, chill out, relax, bring peace within yourself. The world is so lost, and yet we're a world of knowledge. There's so much knowledge out there. There's so much wisdom out there, but there's so many lost souls out there. Why? Because this little device that's in your hand. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? I guarantee everyone grabs their phone. Maybe don't grab your phone. Maybe grab some water. Drink water first thing in the morning. Say a prayer first thing in the morning. Bring gratitude first thing in the morning. Stretch your body first thing in the morning. Your phones can always be there. And do you really believe what everyone says on social media? I remember going through the depths of darkness and writing all these beautiful things that were coming down to me. I used to call them universal messages. People are like, your life must be amazing. I'm like, you're delusional, homie. You're delusional. No, my life sucks right now. I'm writing these messages to give myself strength. I'm writing these messages to empower myself. And you all think my life is good? Keep on believing what social lies are saying to you. And you're going to end up down that same path. And this is another thing. It's so interesting we're having this conversation because I just did an Instagram stories on this. It's like, stop listening to this crap music that's really just has all these demonic tones into it. I can't even listen to mainstream music anymore. It's so dark and demonic. And everyone's just, they're also imprinting their kids with these. And I'm just like, yo, like, are you kidding me? You're allowing your kid to listen to this music? Are you for real? Do you realize what you're implanting your child's spirit with? Do you understand what portals you're opening up? People don't understand the portals. People don't understand this whole world because it's foreign. This spirituality should have been taught in school, but what did they do? They held it back from you because they don't want you to be powerful. They're creating worker ants. Everyone's an ant in this world. Everyone's an ant. And if you don't want to become the king ant, then continue doing what you're doing. Go and live that zombie life of looking down. And you're going to get, I'm telling you, everyone's going to have this hunchback because of looking down at your phone. They're wondering, why am I so depressed? Because you're only doing one thing, looking at your damn phone. Wake up. You're wondering why everyone else's life is perfect. No one's life is perfect. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a struggle. But they're going to post their happy travels on there. You know, I know people that put their, I love my husband, and then you talk to them, they're like, oh, I can't wait to get rid of this guy. It's like, well, didn't you just post how much you love your husband? They're like, yeah, I just do that every so often. Like, so why are you lying to yourself? Why are you lying to, stop lying to yourself. You're not lying to anyone else. You're just lying to yourself. That's all you're doing. I want people to realize that. No one cares about anybody. And this is one thing I had to tell myself. That no one cares. And I'm like, that's true. No one really cares. We think people care, but no one cares. Everyone's got their own problems. And if you've got your own problems, you're going to solve your problems because no one's going to come and solve your problems. And you better have a good support system. You better have good friends around you that are going to tell it to you the way you need to be told. Not the piddly friends that are going to be like, it's okay, sweetie, you'll be fine. And then behind your back, they're like, oh, Zach's like going through some shit and this and that, and they're talking shit about you. Right? Those aren't the friends you want. You want real friends. You want real friends that are going to be honest with you, that are going to hurt your feelings. And then they're going to cheer you on, and they're going to celebrate you. Because life isn't always easy. Life is not always easy. We have duality in this world. And we're living it right now. We're in spiritual warfare right now. And what they're going for is your mind. Why is mental health on the rise? Why is depression on the rise? Why is suicide on the rise? Why is drug addiction on the rise? You ever ask yourself those questions? You ever look into the statistics of life? Why is mental health, more prominent for women? And as women, we all gather together and talk. But yet we get stuck in a bottle of wine, thinking the wine's going to solve our problems. No, honey, get down on your knees, look up in the sky, and talk to God. That's what's going to solve your problem. That's going to build your spirit. That's going to build your spine. Stop listening to this garbage music. Stop watching these reality TV shows that are garbage, thinking that they're living their best life. They're not. No one on TV is living their best life. They're making you believe a false illusion of what their life looks like. Everyone's got problems. So solve your problems, talking about other people, stop complaining. Oh man, just be you. What does that feel like to be you? What does that feel like to be you? Who are you? A lot of people don't even know who they are. Another problem. When you ask someone, what do you do for fun? I don't know. My kids? Well, your kids are not around anymore. They only have their own family. What do you do for fun? My grandkids? No. Your grandkids are not around either. You're by yourself. You're on an island by yourself. What do you do for fun? I don't know. I've lost myself in my family. I don't even know who I am anymore. Get to know yourself. This goes for men too. I talk more about women because I work with a lot of women. This goes for men too. Men have emotions. Men have anger. Men have shame. Men have guilt. But a man needs to be strong. And a man shouldn't cry. Why should a man cry? Why should a man cry? When I used to work with men as my clients, and I'd look at them, I'm like, you gotta cry that out? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, let it go, man. And they cry it out, and they're like, I feel so much better. Thanks for holding that space for me, Zach. I'm like, absolutely. Don't think because your guy is crying he's weak. Tears are strength. Tears are strength. If you think your man is weak because he's shedding a tear, because he's clearing some shit out of his way, then you're just not the person for him. If you can't hold that space for him, go into your corner and do what you got to do. Because that man needs a stronger woman. And when I think about men, I think of a man and a woman being together and going at war together. And I'm not saying going at war with each other, but if something happened out there, who do you want to go to war with? There's a lot of people that I go to war with. And that's the beautiful part. Pick your partner because he helps you evolve. He helps you grow. He may say things that don't feel comfortable. Pick your job because it's expanding you. It's awakening you. It's shifting you. Live on purpose because you want to wake up every morning and do what you love to do, and it doesn't feel like a job. We get lost in this whole 9 to 5 or whatever we're doing. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you. Because when you clear the dirt deep with soap and water, you start to shine differently. You start to show up differently. You start to awaken differently. But it all really comes down to you. No one else can do this for you. No one else.
Well, and when you do that, you also discover that you're not what people have told you that you were. I know that when I was in my 20s and I started meditating, I had this very bad opinion of myself because I had been told my whole life that I was worthless. Nobody wanted to hear anything you had to say. Keep your mouth shut. Why are you here? You should just be dead. And I started to really buy that in, even though I didn't believe it. You hear it over and over and over again. You start to think, you start taking that on. And I wasn't about to let somebody ruin who I was. And in my 20s, I started meditating, and that's when I discovered who I was. That's when I started realizing I wasn't this pile of dog crap that everybody was trying to tell me that I was a spiritual being, and that I was somebody, and I mattered, and I was here for a reason and for a purpose. Was it easy? No, but who cares? It was, at least there was a sign of hope, because, if you don't have any hope, you're going to die. I mean, I learned what hopelessness was. I felt that emotion, and I understood suicide at that moment. And it was the hardest thing to deal with, was understanding what suicide is. And it comes from hopelessness. And that's because you're letting the world tell you and dictate to you instead of using your own mind. And just because our school systems deprogram us into all this garbage and you want to buy it, stop it. Just stop it. You matter. You matter. You matter. You matter. Somebody loves you on this planet. Not one, many, but at least you know of one person. And if it's just your mother or your father, but whatever, you are loved and you are needed desperately. And we need you to wake up. And that's the point. And that's the message that we're trying to convey to you, is take personal responsibility for your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your deeds. So, Zach, we are starting to wind up here. So how can people get a hold of you?
You could reach me on Instagram at Spiritual Hustler. That's Spiritual, and Hustler, HSTLR. You could join me in the inner circle, bsuclub.com. So those are a couple of ways that you could get a hold of me. And or you could find me on Facebook, Zak Liotas. That's Lioutas.
Well, this was definitely an interesting show today. So thank you so much for coming on and having a little bit of strangeness. But that's what life happens with us when we get together. Life does weird things for us all the time. So, and, if we can't laugh, then we're sitting here, we would be the biggest hypocrites on the planet if we couldn't laugh at what we're telling people to do. So live by example. Exactly. That's how I look at it. Live by example, because I think people are so overloaded right now with information that they don't know, and they just need somebody to follow. And if you're in the light and you're doing the work, then let them see you by example. That's the only way I know how to get my message out right now, is just lead by example. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. This is Kathleen Flanagan with The Journey of an Awakening Spirit. You can reach me at KathleenMFlanagan.com. And we have coupon codes at grandmasnaturalremedies.net and awakeningspirit.net. And I have a YouTube channel at Kathleen M. Flanagan, where I have lots of other videos beside the show there. And I would love for you if you would subscribe. My books are up on Amazon, and Kathleen Flanagan and Awakening Spirit. It's Dancing Souls. Book 1 is The Call, and book 2 is The Dark Night of the Soul. And from my heart to yours, I hope you all have a fabulous week.
This has been The Journey of an Awakening Spirit with your host, Kathleen Flanagan. Join Kathleen each week as she will inspire and empower all those who are drawn to her to live their highest vision in the context of love and joy. Right here Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network.